we are going to be removing 3 emblems off of each side. So the first step is to clean the area. This truck is already clean, but I want to remove any of the superficial dust. Now this is a Milwaukee. It's a professional grade heat gun, which means that if I was careless, I could literally blister this paint. Obviously, that would not be a good thing. So you have to finesse it. What we're trying to do is essentially heat up the surface of this so that the heat goes through to the double-sided tape behind it. The thicker the emblem is, the more you'll have to finesse it. So if you were to flash heat this, you're only going to get the top. It's not going to have time to work the heat through and do the job that it needs to do, which is to start to loosen up that double-sided tape. So this is where you check, and this will heat up at a different rate than the paint itself. Now the critical factor is the paint. So this is what I'm checking for, is how hot this paint is getting. Now this gun, I don't know, I think it produces like 1200 degrees, which is seriously hot. And I just basically work it to enough to where I think that is now the heat is dissipating back into the adhesive itself, or the double-sided tape. All the while I'm checking the perimeter to see how hot that paint is getting. And it may not seem like it, but this heat gun, you know, it's about 12 inches away. But it's that hot that it is very effective. And this is 20-pound test fishing line. And the problem with these big, fat emblems is they have big, fat, double-sided tape under there, so it becomes more problematic in slicing through it. To the point where it feels like your fingertips are going to slice off before something breaks or the emblem comes off. As you get to that edge, you'll notice that the emblem stayed intact. Now this is a point where it's been sliced through, but you can't just pry it off from an edge, because if you do and you start lifting it up, it's going to dig into one of the edges and perhaps gouge the paint. So you may have to go back through it until the point where you have release, like this. So you pull it straight off, and you can see all the different slice marks that I had to go through to get this. It's very sticky, it's very tacky because it was melted down. Now it's time to rinse and repeat. I'm going to remove all the emblems first, and I'm actually just going to take this one side to completion for the viewer's sake. But to maintain efficiency and to not keep switching back and forth between tools and be redundant that way, I'm just going to do each step to completion. Then I can move on with the next tool, the next product, and that makes me a little more efficient as a detailer. Time is money. Now we have release, and notice that I'm pulling up from the edges, because if I pull up from the edges, this is going to naturally round this, and therefore it's not going to be an issue as far as gouging into the paint. Additionally, what you're looking for on here is occasionally, like on the Suburbans, the Chevys, the Silverados, where they have the long chrome rub rail or accent, whatever you want to call it. And as you peel that up, it will start to chip and crack. Now, that did not happen to any of these emblems. In the event that that happens, that's where you could actually get metal shards or plastic chrome-plated metal shards in this adhesive, and that could represent a problem. So that's part of what I'm double checking as I wipe back over this, but I know that that emblem came off in a single piece, so it really becomes a non-issue. And I always check my eraser tool. Even though this is a stiff, hard type of rubberized material, it would be incredibly difficult for this to pick up debris and transfer it onto the paint. But I still check. Practice safe debadging. So there we have virtually 99% removal. At this point, it's just about the rapid remover. I did not show it, but I did in fact go back over this after I removed that to make sure there was no shrapnel. Now I'm just kind of doing a visual inspection because dirt does get trapped inside these areas. And so you just do a quick visual inspection and it looks clean. Now at this point, it's all about the rapid remover. The key word, rapid. So why this chemical is so superior, in my opinion, is that if you just spray it, and it's safe for virtually any type of material. So if you are patient and you just allow it to do the work, rapid remover, all it requires is a little dwell time, and bam, this is virtually flawless. It has not changed the texture of the paint, completely intact, no abrasions, no marring. So now I'm going to apply it down here, do the same thing where the tundra was, spray it, allow it to dwell. Should I be wearing gloves? Well, they're your hands, you'll likely figure that out. And also what's cool is this is completely water soluble, unlike the other solvent-based tar and adhesive removers. So I could come here with some water and literally hose this off and it would be gone. That's also another benefit. And the last area here. So now we have nice and smooth and clean, what I would call perfection. But there's still a last step, and that's protection. So I take a microfiber, you've got your polish side, then you flip over for the dry side, and now you double check for smoothness. And once again, I can feel all the subtle nuances with my bare hands. All I have to do now is wax the areas and seal them for protection. But if you look at any angle, you will not see any flaw or blemish. So now I'm going to see it. Now I'm going to seal it up. My hope is that you guys learn a little extra along the way. See you in the next video.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across